and I'm so grateful to be here to celebrate this moment with you guys. When I think about ending homelessness, and what it means to me in my work, I think of the reduction of fear in our community. And I come about this a couple different ways. First off, I also have the privilege of having a home. And that means I have the privilege and the privacy and the luxury to feel my feelings in privacy. I can go to my room when I need a good cry, or I've got my car when I need to yell at the world for a little bit, and I have that luxury. When people don't have a home, they don't have that privacy, and so that sometimes spills out onto the street. And I think it's important to acknowledge that there is a level of fear for certain community members there. But really, the piece about reducing fear, when I look at it in reducing homelessness, is reducing the level of fear for our community members who are living in homelessness. When you're living in survival mode, you have to be on high alert all the time. You don't have a choice. You don't know where you're going to sleep that night, or where your next meal is going to come from, or if you're safe. And so when you live with that fear in your body, it can present itself in different ways. So for some, that looks like people who are more reserved or hiding or not asking for help. But that also shows up for some as anger and aggression. And especially when we think about the history of trauma, the history of violence that folks may grow up with, sometimes our body learns that it's safer to be the aggressor than it is to risk being the victim. And so I believe that ending homelessness would reduce that fear level in our community and also reduce the level of violence. I think that's important to note. I also want to talk about how, I also want to talk about how homelessness would be a health and cost benefit to our community. As Derek shared, as it's mentioned in our report, those who are experiencing homelessness have 6 times the healthcare cost compared to those who are housed. We know that preventative healthcare works and it saves the community money. And so when I look at ending homelessness, I look at how that will improve the health of our community. Because when you're homeless, you may not have that time to worry about your preventative health. There's no opportunity, or there's very challenging to focus on your oral hygiene when you don't have a place to store your toothbrush. It's really hard to focus on your blood sugars and diabetes when you don't have a choice of what or when your next meal is. And so I believe that solving homelessness gives us an opportunity. It's a place to put our toothbrush. It's a place where we now can buy groceries, where we can make our own meals, learn to cook, enjoy that cooking opportunity, a place to store leftovers. These basic life skills that folks don't have the opportunity to experience, I think, are really important to highlight and cherish. Also, a safe place to sleep. We know how important sleep is to our overall hygiene, our health, and so getting that safety in that space is super, super, super important. Having a home is that first time that you're able to rest, to learn over time and with that confidence in that security and the permanency on how to reduce your alarm bells in your body, on how to finish that stress response cycle. And so I believe that solving homelessness and ending homelessness is so important for our health, for our finances, for reducing the fear, for the safety and well-being of our community. And so I'm so grateful to those of you who have worked tirelessly over these few years, creating this plan, over the past many years in the different iterations of this plan. Those of you with lived experience who have shared your story and knowledge and expertise, and those of us who are coming here today to support and promote this plan. So thank you to all of you, and thank you guys